All right, y'all. So we needed to talk about what's going on in today's fandom and this whole retcon situation. And boy, do I have an epic rant for y'all because I know it's Sunday. I'm not supposed to do it on God's day, but I just couldn't hold it in for too long because I feel like it needs to be said. So ever since this Mortal Kombat movie was announced, people did not like the casting choices of these actors playing these iconic Mortal Kombat characters, especially characters like Molina, Jax, Liu Kang. They act like they got these characters and then casting choices wrong. They basically just want everything to stay the same. And that's just the problem. You cannot expect everything to be the same from any movie. And it's quite obvious to me this fan base is just as toxic as any other fandoms out there. And let me tell you something. This is this has gone out of control. The thing that pisses me off the most is when they get mad when a certain character does not appear in this movie. Let me explain something to y'all. Who is making this movie? Who is directing this movie? Who makes the decisions around here? They do. You don't get to pick and choose who's going to be in this movie. Todd Gardner pretty much explains that he's going to be in the sequel. He doesn't necessarily need to be in this movie. He might end up showing up in the end credits. This is one of the main reasons why this fan base is just terrible right now because of this reboot. You complain about the costumes, you complain about, Melina being black, and you complain about Liu Kang being too young. Don't even get me started on Liu Kang's part because I've seen one comment saying that how he's too young to be playing Liu Kang. First of all, Ludilin is in his 30s. So of course he's the perfect role for Liu Kang. And he's muscular and he's a martial artist as well. I'm like, this these people have no type of logic on these actors playing these characters whatsoever. If you think you can do a better movie than them, then why don't you do it yourself? And let's see how that turns out for you. It seriously boggles my mind that people will criticize. Criticize a movie that hasn't even come out yet. You've seen the trailers. It became the most watched trailers on YouTube of all time. What does that tell you? People that are hardcore fans of Mortal Kombat will go see this movie, whether it's in theaters or HBO Max. And you will see some positive feedbacks for this movie. And you've seen what happened in the Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. That had crazy positive feedbacks. So imagine if you ended up seeing positive feedbacks from Mortal Kombat movie that's going to come out next month on the 16th. And how could you not? You will end up seeing so many positive feedbacks from this film. And it pains me to say this, but part of me thinks that Rotten Tomatoes is going to give this movie a 70% or a 75%. That's a good score, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just like a passable grade if you're doing your final exam. So I really don't understand why this fandom just cannot appreciate what this movie has to offer. You people act like Johnny Cage is your child, as if you gave birth to him. You may have played in games throughout the years, but that doesn't mean, I mean, come on, people. And now you want to cancel this movie because Johnny Cage isn't in it. I'm sorry, but that is by far one of the most retarded things I've ever seen in my entire life. You're going to cancel a movie because Johnny Cage is not in it. How pathetic. Paul Garner even said, once you watch this movie, you're going to see what he's talking about. Like I said, he might end up showing up in the end credit scenes, or he might show up in the sequel. And plus, he's not a racist by all means. Shouldn't he said that? Yeah, he should have never said it. But the fact that you took it out of context lets me know that you're sensitive and you're just too soft about it. And he did say that he was thinking about Ryan Reynolds for the role of Johnny Cage. And now that you think about it, Ryan Reynolds could be or could have, you know, the potential to play Johnny Cage in this movie. Let's think about that. If you watch him in his Deadpool performance, because Deadpool and Johnny Cage have the same personalities in terms of being funny and cracking wise jokes. Hold on. Look, all I'm saying is that you people need to just stop sucking on Johnny's toes as if he's the master, he's the king of Mortal Kombat. No, he's not. He's just a character. I mean, every time I go on Instagram and Twitter, I just couldn't help but to laugh that these people are still crying about Johnny Cage not being in this movie. Because I think what this screams to me is that they're going to probably focus on Cole Young being a new character and bring new audiences in who haven't heard of Mortal Kombat or who doesn't know about Mortal Kombat universe. And maybe for the sequel, they're going to probably put Johnny Cage in the sequel. So you people need to leave Johnny Cage alone and stop crying about it. You act like it's the end of the world, and you want to cancel this movie because he's not in it. How pathetic. Grow up. Seriously. Let's look in the chat. Johnny's end credit scene is going to be a gangster. It might be so, Roy. It might be so. Shadow, what's up, man? Nice to stop by. Mr. Kennedy, what's up? MK90, what's up? Peeps on that. Yeah, I mean, they're never satisfied with anything. And like you said, you cannot please anybody. And that's sad because they will complain about every single thing that comes out on social media. And once one thing pops up, boom, nothing but hate comes in their hearts in the comment section. That's how toxic this fandom is. They're worse than Power Rangers, in my opinion. People say the same thing with the Resident Evil reboot cast because of how they look in the trailer as it come. Wow. Now, even though I'm not really into the Resident Evil series, but I might do my information on sometime in the future. You know, Johnny's my favorite. I don't mind if he isn't in it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Listen, people need to realize that Johnny Cage may be your favorite character, but once he's in the sequel, I'm sure you're gonna watch the movie because he's in it. So the fact that you're gonna cancel this movie because he's not in the first one, childish and stupid though. So I agree with you 100%, Shadow. So let's focus on another fandom that has been really getting on my nerves lately, and that is the Power Rangers. So, as y'all know, Donald Fury has debuted last month, and it's already being proven to the fandom that they love the series. You know, from the writing, the action, and the dialogue, and Zeto's backstory, it's what drew people into the series. And the cast of the Rangers in the series as a whole has won so many people over despite the comedy duo that's in it that people just don't like. I don't like it either, but guess what? As a series as a whole, I like it. I love it. And the action itself is really nice to see. So before the series even started, people were already criticizing, the cast, especially the Green Ranger being female in terms of Dino Fury wise. And people may not realize this, but they're going back to its original roots of the original days of the Mighty Morphin series when the Yellow Ranger was a female and in Jew Ranger, Boy was a guy. So it worked on Trinity's part, despite her not having a development. So in Donald Fury, they're pretty much giving Izzy more development, especially yesterday's episode when she is a sports loving person that is so good at anything she does. And especially her actress, Tessa Rayo, shout outs to Tessa Rayo. Um, her character won me over already because her acting and the way she delivered her lines and she's a good fighter as well. When she was using that thing they used for the Olympic Games, she was using that as a weapon. And she gave, you know, Javier, two dino sabers to use like a double katana. So I thought that was really cool to see it to use in a fun action scene. That was literally one of the best parts about the episode. And everybody saying that, the episode was trending on Twitter. That's shocking to me of how a season like Down of Fury can trend on social media. So this season looks like it's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So the biggest part that everybody was talking about is the skirt scene. How she ripped it off and saying how it doesn't fit her style. And people need to realize that because they're using real soldier stock footage. So just in case there's like this fight scene, they're gonna probably use a little bit of amount of Sentai footage for the Green Ranger, but not all of it. So people were just still crying about her about having a skirt, not having a skirt. In the beginning of the first episode, when he showed the Morphin Masters giving the first female Green Ranger a skirt, but once Izzy becomes a Ranger, she ends up ripping it off. And she just showed out. And I feel like Izzy could be my top 5 Green Rangers of the franchise. Because I feel like she stole the show in this episode. And if you watch my video that I recently uploaded about the episode full review and my thoughts when I mentioned that Izzy and Javier could be my top 10 Black and Green Rangers of the series. And I meant when I said. So the fact that people are still crying about it, they need to just get over it as well. And I was arguing with the guy on Bruno's Facebook page, MNPR Facebook page about Dino Fury, and there was just one guy who was saying that why can't they have good storylines like Mighty Morphin, Zeo, and Turbo, Lost Galaxy in its space? I'm just left with all kinds of confusion. So I'm like, dude, Mighty Morphin did not have any good storylines except for the Green Medieval Saga, the Green Candle. They had like multi parts, but the series as a whole wasn't that great, especially in season one. It had some cool moments and some good music, but the story itself didn't make sense. So how you go try to say Mighty Morphin had good storylines? Turbo did not have good storylines as well. It did not make any sense. Starting with the movie, the Zeo powers were never destroyed in the first place. They were 10 times more powerful than the original, you know, the Mighty Morphin powers. So that transition made absolutely no sense whatsoever. So I argued with him about it, and he tried to cuss me out about it, saying next time I need to comment. First of all, I replied to your comment because your logic did not make any sense. You said that Mighty Morphin and Turbo had good storylines, but they didn't. And that's where I realized that he's basically stuck in the past and won't acknowledge Dino Fury that it's present right now. So, and Bruno tuned him out on it as well. Everybody did. It wasn't just me, it was everybody. So I told him, look, you if that's how you feel, then you need to stay in the past then. If you're so quick to judge a season that or season you're so quick to judge a season that just started last month. And that right there is how toxic this this fandom can be as well. Just like Mortal Kombat, they're never satisfied with anything. Even about the female Green Ranger. I even saw one comment saying that he's still not used to, a Green Ranger being female and Dino Fury, maybe it'll grow on him. I wanted to reply to his comment, but I just chose not to because they're making it hard for me to not reply to the comments because I just feel like, you know, people are so quick to judge on anything. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. That's just what kind of bothers me about today's, society. When we see something, we judge. Especially fandoms coming from Mortal Kombat and Power Rangers altogether. When a season like Dino Fury is good, there were only 4 episodes in. I really don't understand this fandom sometimes. Let me put the invite in the chat so that I can talk to y'all. Because this is blowing my mind. All right, so I just put the invite in the chat so I could talk to maybe 2 people or 3 people, in my stream yard because we really do need to talk about what's going on in today's fandom because I feel like it has becoming too toxic to say the least because I feel like we can't even enjoy nothing in life without everybody has one thing to complain about, and as soon as you reply to them, they get mad. You know what I'm saying? It's really dumb. Even about the Mortal Kombat movie, it's coming out next month on the 16th, and people are already still crying about it. We have loyal fans like Uncaged Games when he talked about the 13 minutes you saw in the Mortal Kombat movie about Scorpion, Hanzo, and Bihan getting to a bloody exchange of violent fights and how emotional the story is. So Ludi Lane even shared his reaction on his Twitter page. And that's how you know this movie is getting so much love from the fan base, those who support and will praise this movie for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're looking at MK11 storyline in the big screen. So it really makes sense. Yeah, man, I'm just blown away how this fandom is just sad. You know, sometimes when you're on Facebook, the service becomes really slow. I'm just looking at the comments. Like I said, if y'all want to jump by and jump on the chat so we can talk, I'm gonna send an invite again so we can have a conversation. I would love to hear your voice and your thoughts on what I said about in chat. So bruh, exactly. Finally, someone kind of agree with what I'm saying. Stop racism. But yeah, I just sometimes feel like people have been complaining too much about anything, regarding Mortal Kombat and Power Rangers and just accept it for what it is. It's not the end of the world. You know, the movie hasn't even come out yet. So remember when Ismail said he will just roll up racism rules. Oh, did he say that for real? Remember Ismail said he will just roll up racism with Snoop Dogg. Oh, but yeah, man, I just want to come on here and say my piece, what I thought about the fan base itself. Everybody just needs to just stop complaining and just enjoy life for what it is, and just appreciate the product that you have. Not everything is going to be perfect on your watch, on your expectations. Just try to enjoy things that you have because life is too short for you to complain about every single thing. It's getting old and it needs to stop. So, and shout out to Johnson Gameplays for Stop Racism. I like that comment, man. So I thank you for that. Anyways, I thank y'all for coming out, stopping by, chatting with me as always. And if you guys like this stream, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. And please subscribe to my channel right now because there will be more content later on today. So yeah, love y'all. Take care.